Is the camera ready? Hello and good morning. It's the 20th day of January 2026. Can you believe that? Hope you're as excited as I am to start a new day. Today's a Tuesday. Wow. The Januaries are getting shorter. Maybe it's just me, but the Januaries are getting a lot shorter than they used to be. I remember when January used to be like 3 months compacted into one, but now January is really just a month of its own, and it comes, it starts, it ends quickly. It's behaving like its sister February. I'm not complaining though, not complaining at all. Good morning and welcome to Mornings with Ruth. I'm Ruth and keeping you company all the way until 9 in the morning. And once again, we're joining with my computer's webcam because it's by any means necessary this year. No excuses. Sometimes we have the better equipment and we don't show up. So sometimes we just need to show up with what we've got and do what we need to with what we have until we get what we need. And of course, here on Mornings with Ruth, we start all our days with meditation, affirmation, and intention. Today, we have a very wholesome topic for us to talk about. And today, we're talking about just before daybreak. Maybe the phase of your life that you're currently in, just a little before daybreak, that phase when it's not quite morning yet, you're not quite seeing your breakthrough just yet, but you're expectant, you're hopeful, you know it will come, you know it's on its way, but it's just not there yet. It's not there yet. And so this morning, I want to remind you that it is on its way. And even though you may feel as though this is midnight, is not quite midnight. So close ever anticipate that they could. Hello, or to the side or wherever it pops up. We're here and we're gonna stay. We are going to stay, my friends. Ooh. So with 20 years into the new year, we hardly hear many people saying 2026 is their year, but you know what? I believe that it's mine. And it has started off interestingly, and I think it has for a lot of people, where the 2026 year has not started for some with bells and whistles. You feel as though you're still starting in the dark, you're still feeling and finding your way. And I want to remind you that that is okay as well. Because we need these stories. These are the things that make our stories beautiful and come to life, you know? Our lives are not black and white, and that's okay. It's hard to embrace, though. It's hard to embrace the thickness of the darkness sometimes. But life, we go through seasons in our lives. There's a season for everything. There's a season to reap, that's harvesting. There's a season to plant, a time to really water your crops when you don't have a lot. But guess what? We just need to show up in each season the way that we need to. Today, we want to draw the whole fact from just before daybreak. We want to parallel it with our own lives and how sometimes we feel as though we are not at the darkest pitch black part of our lives right now, we are making progress. We can see in the distance a little glimmer of light, and we know the sun is coming. We can hear nature starting to awake. We can hear the birds starting to rustle and starting to, rustle through the bushes and starting to chirp here and there. We can hear our roosters in the far distance, cock-a-doodle doing. And we just know that even though we are not feeling the rays of sunlight on our faces just yet, daybreak is upon us. But that little space between daybreak and sunrise is not always as easy or simple as people make it out to be, but it's a very hopeful time in our lives. It's a very specific time when we sometimes have to just depend on our memory and of how far we've come, and just trust that we would have done the work so that we'll be ready to shine when the sunlight hits us. Because if we were to really think about daybreak in and of itself, literally it does not start with light. It does not start with the sunshine. Not at all. It begins with darkness. It begins with the final clutches of darkness holding on to the day, darkness doing its final bit of work. And the sky is at its deepest blue sometimes, deep and dark sometimes. And the night is still present. The night has not disappeared, but it has begun to loosen its grip just a little bit. So we hear the birds stirring, we hear them chirping in the distance, even the wind that brushes our cheeks. It feels a little different. The air, it feels expectant. It's crispier, it's lighter, it's fresher, it's cooler because the day hasn't started yet. But when you look out into the distance, not much has changed, Not much. It's not as dark as it was in your midnight, but not a lot has changed. It kind of looks the same, but the truth is that everything is already changing. And that's the thing. Change is a present continuous thing. So it's not change and you sit there in that change. It's continuous. So while we're there in our daybreak, just know that things are changing in the distance. And just remind yourself as well that that moment is not accidental. It is definitely part of the process. I keep looking at myself in the camera over here instead of just looking here. It's kind of weird. Bear with me, guys. We need to remember that this moment is not accidental. It's all a part of the process that we have to go through. So night will not abruptly end. It will eventually yield, but it will not abruptly end to the daybreak effect that you want. And so if today you are going through that experience, you are not yet basking in your sunlight, but you would have gone through the worst. You would have gone through the season of darkness, the season of midnight, and you are preparing. You'd have done the work during the darkness to prepare for the light, but the light has not yet arrived. The sun is not yet shining on you. I want you to remember that. Give yourself that time. Give yourself that time to breathe. Give yourself that time. Get ready for the sunlight that is guaranteed to be yours, because daybreak is a result of a cycle. And the beauty of it is that it has been repeated successfully and faithfully time after time. So if you do look back over your life, you'll realize how far you have come, how many midnights you've gone through, how many daybreaks you sat up waiting for the sunlight and felt as though it was never going to come, but it did. And each time it does, it feels different, but it's always going to happen. We have to go through the process of going through the night, then the transition into morning, and then enjoy the fulsome nature of our day, because every single dawn is going to prove that darkness has a limit and that the transition has its purpose. after all of that, we realize that, light is not going to rush. Light is going to slowly emerge. The sun doesn't just quickly come over the mountaintops. No, slowly but surely, there's a little bit more light here and there. And then eventually we get beams and rays of sunlight. So allow yourself to go through the process. I know it's not easy. Talking from experience, I know it's not hard. I know it's not pretty, but it's part of the process. Because after all the darkness, after all that preparation, all that germination that would have taken place there, unmistakably and quietly, the sun will appear. So slowly but surely be expectant of the sun that is coming your way. Not all at once. And the truth is, we don't want it all at once. We want it to come gradually so we can bask in it, so we can prepare for it. You don't want to open your eyes and immediately it's midday and you're experiencing the hottest sun of your life, drying up everything around you. No, you want it to start off slowly, the first glow, and then the warmth. And then you get some clarity that you so deserve and you may be seeking at the moment. And what was once hidden will eventually become more visible, and what was uncertain now has direction in your life. It's 7:21 in the morning right here on Mornings with Ruth. So happy that you could join me this morning for the program. We go together really well, and we go together all the way on till 9 in the morning. Today's topic is just before daybreak. So now that we've literally talked about the sun and the sunrise before daybreak, it's only right now that we draw that parallel as it relates to our lives. I don't know about you guys, but I know that I am standing in my moment right now at the cusp of daybreak, and maybe that's your story as well. So maybe we can relate in that manner. And I'm talking about that moment, looking outside at the birds. I'm talking about that moment or those moments before daybreak. Um, while we're waiting, because I know I've been waiting, and I'm talking about the uncertainty that I sometimes feel like I'm almost there but not yet. Like there's this next thing that needs to happen, this next step that I need to take, but I'm not seeing it yet. There's no clarity. And I love to mention as well that clarity comes from action, it comes from movement, it comes from doing, and then you build that momentum, and then eventually the path becomes clearer the more you walk on it. Yes. So, I don't know about you, but there are seasons where you have survived and I have survived the night, but the morning just hasn't arrived yet. Like in some of our cases, like in my case, the morning just has not arrived yet. And to be honest with you, I'm feeling a little tired. I'm feeling a little worn. I'm feeling a little, hopelessness wants to trickle in, but I'm still holding forth on hope because, as I said, I would have gone through enough in my life to know that things are going to work out because they must. But I'm still a bit cautious. I'm trusting, but I'm a little uncertain. And I'm feeling all of these things all at once. All at once. But I think there's a great truth that sometimes we miss, myself included, and it's that moments before daybreak are not a sign that nothing is happening. It's proof that everything is sometimes happening beneath the surface. Because before that first ray of sunlight, a number of things happen. And if you've ever gifted yourself the ability, the chance, because you have the ability, if you've ever gifted yourself the chance or the opportunity to wake up before the sun rises, to wake up at daybreak, and just to go through that experience, not even inside your house, but outside of your house, smack in the middle and being one with nature. And I love to say, you don't go out into nature, you are part of nature. We are nature as well. So once we leave our buildings, we leave our houses, and we go outside, and we're one with the earth, the trees, the sky, the air, the birds, everything. Before daybreak, when I do my morning walks, something happens, something shifts. You just know that change is happening, but you know it's not instant. It's something that happens over time, slowly but surely. And then we get that breakthrough. So just remember that if you are at your daybreak now, when you've gone through the worst, you've done the groundwork, and you're now ready to walk into all of the fruits that you would have worked for, or the seeds that you would have planted, all the things that you would have put the effort into to bring about a particular result, and you're waiting patiently, and you're still not seeing the sun. I want to remind you that this moment before day breaks means that everything is in preparation mode. Everything has already started to happen, even if you're not seeing it yet. And that is proof that everything is happening beneath the surface right now. When we plant our things, guys, and they're germinating underground, we don't see that, but things are happening. When we see that first sprout of the plant, and that's not the first thing that has happened. Numerous things would have happened silently, without our eyes on it, just waiting patiently for an opportunity to do even more. So our lives are happening, and things are changing around us. And if you find no encouragement elsewhere, I want to give you that bit of encouragement this morning. As I mentioned, the whole act of germination. I don't know about you, but when I was in high school, I remember we had to get a plant, not a plant. We had to get a seed. I think I got a kidney bean. We had to get a kidney bean, and we had our little petri dishes, and we used, I think, paper napkin or tissue and water, and we had to store it like in a dark space, just to see the process of germination with the roots bursting forth, and all that a seed goes through in order to create this big beautiful plant, the most majestic tree that we see outside, that we stand in awe of. And when we look up on it with great admiration, just know that it started from a tiny seed that had to germinate in the darkness, a tiny seed that had to create roots before it created branches. So sometimes we're busy hoping for our branches and our fruits and those beautiful, luscious leaves, but we are trying to rush the process, because it has to start with roots. All trees must start with roots, or else we will be quickly blown away by the slightest of wind. We'll quickly be washed away by the slightest trickle of water. We'll find ourselves completely dried up and burnt to a crisp by the slightest bit of sunlight that was supposed to come and help us to photosynthesize. But you know what? Did I butcher that word? I haven't said it in a while. We're here creating chlorophyll, you know what I'm saying? But we have to go through our entire process. And I don't want that to ever be lost on us. I don't want us to ever miss that in our effort to be that big, beautiful tree, in that effort to bring forth flowers, in that effort to bring forth fruit. Let us not miss the fact that the roots are the first things that must be created for a plant, for a plant to be sustainable, for a plant to thrive, for a plant to live. Which brings me to a point. There's this poem that I absolutely love, and I think I'm gonna share it with you guys. I'm gonna look for it quickly because I don't know it off the top of my head. I'm gonna look for it on my phone quickly, and I'm gonna share it with you guys. It's a beautiful poem about a tree, and the fact that sometimes we don't want to go through these trying times, these rough times, but you know what? They are important. And while that poem waits to pop up, I just want to remind you that growth often occurs in the dark, as I said before, and clarity forms before it shows. So the clarity is happening before it shows, and strength is built before it is seen. So before anybody realizes that your favorite athlete is really fast or really strong, it means that that strength had to be built. I know that I do admire Usain Bolt, fastest man in the world, yeah. And the truth is, who we see, and when he showed up for all those races, and he showed up and he showed out and he did his best, and he was clocking some crazy time. It's like he was running in the blink of an eye. You just know that the groundwork happened. There were days when he was up early, running and practicing and watching what he was eating when many of us were sleeping and weren't thinking about those things. There were things he had to abstain from. There were things he had to do that he probably did not want to do. But those were the strength. Those were the strength. Well, that was his strength being worked on, his speed being developed in the background, in the darkness, roots as it were. And then when game day came and he stood right there on the blocks and he shut it off. Can you say that? I don't know. He sped off and left everyone in his dust, is not because he got up that day and was just fast. He had to put in the effort. So even if you have your natural gifts and talents, let me tell you something, it will mean nothing if you're not putting in the work. And that's why sometimes many of us complain and we talk about, oh, that person isn't even that talented, that person isn't even that, and they're gaining because they have showed up. They have done the work in the darkness. They have created their roots and they have showed up. So if you need to do that today, then you need to do that today. So we need to quit the complaining because, and quit the worrying. And it's easy to say because I know I worry from time to time, but I try to limit it because there's a space to pause and reflect and look at my life and be concerned and recognize the areas that I need to change. But I can't sit in worry because worry is like a rocking chair. It keeps you busy, but it absolutely gets you nowhere. And so we have to be able to move out of that. While we are creating our roots, we don't even see our branches, we don't see our stem, we see nothing. But we have to trust that we are creating strong roots. And sometimes we are so busy and we want our plants, we want ourselves to sprout so quickly because we're seeking validation from others. Because the only way that others can see that a plant is making progress is once it sprouts above the ground, is once it shoots and bursts through the earth. And sometimes we are trying to rush that process so that people can see that we are growing, when the truth of the matter is we have always been growing. We have been growing into the earth and creating our roots that will hold us firmly in place and will be the thing that centers us once or stalk goes up, once or trunk goes up, once we start reaching out and branching out and growing leaves and flowers and fruits. We need a strong root to sustain all of that. Quickly, here's the poem. Love it so much. It was in the library of my primary school. Was up until recently, before Melissa, I could say, it is in the library of the primary school I went to. But to be honest with you, following the passage of Hurricane Melissa, when the roof was ripped off and there was so much damage, I'm not sure if it's still there. It would be great if it were, though. But just in case, I'm going to share it with you. So give me a quick second. Ooh. And this poem is titled Good Timber by Douglas Mallow. And it says, the tree that never had to fight for sun and sky and air and light, but stood out in the open plain and always got its share of rain, never became a forest king, but lived and died a scrubby thing. The man who never had to toil to gain and farm his patch of soil, who never had to win his share of sun and sky and light and air, never became a manly man, but lived and died where he began. Good timber does not grow with ease. The stronger wind, the stronger trees. The further sky, the greater length. The more the storm, the more the strength. By sun and cold, by rain and snow, in trees and men, good timbers grow. Where thickest lies the forest growth, we find the patriarchs of both. And they hold counsel with the stars, whose broken branches show the scars of many winds and such of strife. This is the common law of life. So when you're going through your tough times, count it all joy. Not saying that you should just want to go through a rough time because there's a season. You have to go through your great moments and celebrate, which is why I'm not one of those persons who say I'm careful whenever great things are happening because I'm worried that the next shoe is going to drop. I try not to be that person. When the great moments show up, I wallow in them. I dive off into the midst of them. I celebrate them. I greet them with open arms. I'm welcoming because everything is a season. This too shall pass. That's in the Bible. And I do remember someone giving maybe a motivational or inspirational talk surrounding same. And they were saying, in life, find comfort in the fact that this too shall pass. So if you're going through your worst time, find comfort in the fact that this too shall pass. And if you're going through your great and wonderful moments, enjoy them, bask in them, share them with others, extend them. Keep your eyes wide open. Don't have them glossed over. Experience it, celebrate it, enjoy it, because this too shall pass. And once we accept that in life, we start accepting the seasons and we're better for it. We realize that we're lessening our anxiety and our worry about the future and our concern about the past because we understand that these things must be. We must go through the cycle of life and it's going to happen over and over again. While I say that though, we have to look for returning patterns because some kind of struggles that we go through, we don't have to go through some of them, but we're stuck in a very toxic cycle. And that's why pause and the moments before daybreak is so important. So we can sit with ourselves and we can really review what we've been going through, review our decision making process because we would have learned and absorbed the things over the years that we have to unlearn, things that we have to move away and step away from, but we have not gotten to that place yet. And so the only way to get there is by stopping in our tracks. The only way to get there is to really review our lives because we start realizing the whole cause and effect. You make this decision, this happens. And now, will it always be? No, because sometimes, there's an anomaly and things don't work out the same way that you expected them to. But I say, show up for yourself anyway. Take your moments before daybreak as a chance, an opportunity to really sit with yourself, review all the preparation that you would have put in, look at your life over the years, learn the lessons that life has been trying to teach you. Because the truth is, and I'm talking from my own experience, is that life is never gonna stop until we learn these lessons. Okay. So I hope that you are doing your work and I hope that you are ready for the sunlight that's about to come after this daybreak. And daybreak is very special to me because there's this particular kind of quiet that exists before the sun rises. And I'm going to say it once again, if you are able to, you should gift yourself with a silent morning outside of your rooms, outside of your house, out in the middle of nature to experience the sunrise. And if you've ever gone hiking, hiking is one of my favorite hobbies. Haven't done a lot of it in the last couple months, but I'll be getting back on that horse. I would say to you, if you are able to, or just create the opportunity yourself, because sometimes we don't need people to do things for us. We can create our own opportunities. So pardon, create your own opportunity and get up and go outside in the middle of nature. If you do hiking, it would be great to do an early morning hike when, oh my god, when you can still see the droplets on the spider webs, when you can see the droplets of water from the dew on the leaves, when you are literally hearing the world, you're hearing nature wake up. There's just this quiet, there's this calm, there's this serenity, there's just this unfathomable beauty that resides in daybreak. And it's not just a deep silence like, that we experience at midnight, and not the confidence of the morning when the sun has risen now and you can see everything brightly, but it's the space in between that I absolutely have fallen in love with. The moments before the sun rises and it feels like waiting. It feels a little like uncertainty. It feels like almost, Ruthann, you're almost there, but not yet. It's a season where I have survived the night because, Brita, me go through some darkness. Darkness you could slice with a knife, okay? But I've gone through that. I have survived my night. You have survived your night. And the morning has just fully arrived. And this is where your body and my body may feel a little tired, but our heart is filled with hope. We're just extremely hopeful. Our mind is a little cautious, but our spirit is still very trusting at the same time. And maybe that's why this moment matters so much. What moment? This moment of pause, this moment just before the day breaks. Because once we because sometimes we misunderstand really this part of the cycle of our lives and the cycle of the day. But once you start embracing it, chef's kiss, you just live life on a different frequency. You exist differently. So you're going through midnight and people are like, why are you smiling? And I'm like, it's okay. My midnight is okay. I need to go through this. It's fine. Don't worry about me, darling. And when you're at your daybreak, after you'd have battled all the things in your darkness and you need to rest now, don't rush the sunlight. Rest a little bit and await it, because I know for a fact that it is coming to you. But sometimes we're burdened and we think that if it's still dark, then no, not go on for we. It's nothing is happening. And if we don't see results yet, that process must be stalled. But let me remind you, we can't feel that way. Sometimes we wonder if clarity hasn't arrived, growth must be delayed. And that's not the truth, as we would have proven time and time again throughout this episode of the podcast and throughout our entire lives, which are examples for us as well. So, the truth that we sometimes miss is that the moments before daybreak are not just a sign that nothing is happening, they're proof that everything has been happening beneath the surface. It's 7:43 in the morning right here on Mornings with Ruth. Make that 7:44. And in case you're just joining us, I'm Ruth Ann. I'll be keeping you company all the way until 9. Are we staying until 9 today? That's the goal, guys. That's the goal, to be here until 9 with you. Thank you so very much for joining. And for you who are joining me now after the fact, that's fine. You know, you can play me in the background. That's okay as well. But let it not be lost on you guys that the daily cycle has a lot to teach us. Everything in life is a teacher. Everything I experience has taught me something. And so the cycle of the day is teaching me something sacred as well. If you pay attention, it will teach you as well. So you're struggling now, you're suffering even. Just remember that your night is not wasted. Just remember that your darkness is not failure and your stillness is not absence, because growth often occurs when no one is watching, because we're not looking for growth in that area, okay? We are not looking in that area, and so growth is actually taking place. So roots grow downward before anything reaches up, and clarity forms quietly before it announces itself. So strength is built before it is even seen or recognized. So it is with the sun. It doesn't rush its survival, it never will, and yet it never fails to rise. Every single morning, even if the day is overcast, you know it's day. Find the blessing, guys, in the process. Because I feel like many times we miss the blessings in the hallway. We miss the blessings during the growth period. And we think that the only time to celebrate is once we'd have achieved all these things, once we'd have sprouted from the ground, once we are growing fruits and flowers. And we miss celebrating the times when we were working extremely hard and putting in the groundwork, literally, so that we could grow our roots. Trust the process. It sounds easy to say. It might not be that easy to do, but it's doable. Just remember that just like the earth prepares itself for morning long before the light arrives, we too are being prepared, or at least we should be preparing, so that we're ready for the light. I have so many wonderful songs in mind that I could just patch right in to help to help with this message that I'm bringing right now. But then I remember I'm not going live on TikTok right now, where I could just play the songs, and we don't want to be copyrighted, so we're gonna leave those out. And it's just us talking today. And please feel free to leave your comments below. I want to know your thoughts and your ideas on the topic that we are discussing here on Mornings with Ruth, and I want to hear it every single day. Come on. If you're unable to join us live, of course, this is saved on my channel, so you can listen to it after the fact. I don't mind at all. You can share it with a friend or family member, somebody who needs to be reminded that their breakthrough is on its way. They're just sitting on the cusp of daybreak, and that's okay as well. They should bask in this moment, not try to rush it, because the sun is indeed going to shine for them. Remind yourself, remind your friends, remind that family member, whomever it is that you believe needs to hear that accepting the daily cycle of night and waiting and dawn and day, they are going to teach us, they're beautiful, mighty teachers on how to accept the different seasons within our lives. Good morning, Mommy. Thank you so very much for joining. Today we're talking about just before daybreak. You may be waiting for your breakthrough this morning, and you're feeling a little despondent and you're feeling a little sad. And I want to remind you that life comes in cycles and seasons. And once we recognize that, once we appreciate that, it makes life easier. It shows us even more how life is beautiful. So if your moment is that, gosh, things are not working out, I want to remind you, as I did earlier, that there's this particular kind of quiet that exists before daybreak. Not the deep silence of midnight, not the confidence of morning, but that space in between, the moments before the sun rises, that feels like waiting, that feels like a little bit of uncertainty. It feels like almost, but not quite, not yet. It's a season where you survived the night, but the morning hasn't fully arrived. This is where your body is tired, your heart is hopeful, your mind is cautious, but your spirit is trusting, all at the same time. Just remember and never miss this truth, that if we think it's still dark and that nothing is happening, we could not be further from the truth. If we don't see results, we start worrying that progress has been stalled. Let me remind you, that's not factual. And sometimes we feel as if clarity hasn't arrived yet, then growth must be delayed. No, because clarity comes through doing, clarity comes through movement. So never miss the truth that moments before daybreak, this is your sign that something is happening. The shift has already taken place, and it's now time to wait for the sunrise to come. Because if there's one thing we'd have learned over time, is that the sun will rise again. So if you're at your hour of dawn today, or your hours before dawn today, when answers are forming but they're not yet clear, like the space that I'm in right now, so many things I want to do, so many decisions, you question, but it's not just being hopeful, because hope is not a plan. It's about trusting the process and doing my part while I'm on this road, I'm on this route towards things that I want to achieve. And life is made up of journeys, yes, and it's okay to have goals, huge lofty goals that we want to meet, big beautiful ones, but it's the journey. It's always who we become on that journey to achieve that goal that really matters. So, if you want to become a singer, who do you need to become on that journey to become that person? If you want to be a teacher, who must you become on that journey? Do you need to learn to be more patient, more thoughtful, more tactful in how you treat with others and how you relate to people? Do you have to learn how to see behind the blinds? Do you need to learn how to see beyond the face value to understand people? Because you need to understand kids and sometimes hear the things that are being shouted but not said with the lips. Who do you need to become on this journey? While you're experiencing the hours before dawn, who do you need to become? Do you need to become more consistent? Do you need to become more deliberate? What do you need to do? What is the shift that needs to take place internally that's going to help you to get to that next side? That is what's important. So these destinations are great because the space between who we are now and that destination that we want to get to is the beautiful part. That's the part that's called the becoming. That's the part just before dawn. So there may be times when you are full of daylight and everything is visible and everything seems to make sense. And then there are times when you are in the early hours of dawn, when answers are forming, but they're not yet clear to you, when healing has started, but it's not finished, and when you know change is coming, but you can't seem to see the shape of it yet. This is not a pause in your journey. This is preparation for what is to come. Just know that acceptance in these moments are not passive, they're active. Okay, you don't just trust the process and you just sit on a lily. They're active. It comes with doing, preparing, becoming. Okay, it's an act of trust as well, trusting that the work that you put in will bear fruits. And sometimes it's not the fruits that we thought that it would bear, and it gives us an ability and opportunity to pivot as well, because sometimes we don't do things because we're scared of failure, but failure is such a beautiful teacher. We learn so many lessons from doing. And the truth is, if we live in our minds, yesterday the topic we discussed was from thought to action. And when we live in our minds and we think that, oh my God, if I do this, this is how things are going to turn out, we never truly know, because we only know by doing. Because by doing, then we're faced with the reality and the actual reactions to some of the things and the decisions that we would have taken. So sometimes it says, or life says, I don't need to force the sunrise. I don't need to rush what's still becoming. I can honor, sorry, where I am, needing proof without needing proof of where I'm going, because you know where you are, you know where you're going, but you are on this journey. You're not there yet. You are developing, you are becoming. It's just like photographs. When we used to take them on film, they are developed in the darkness. And if they're exposed to sunlight or any kind of light prematurely, then the film is ruined. So don't ruin your films, guys. Come on now. What we're going to do is take our time and go through the process. We don't have to rush, because light never rushes in. It slowly appears just like it needs to. It's 5 minutes to the hour of 8 right here on Mornings with Ruth. Hope you've been having a great morning so far, spending time with me. I hope that I've been able to bring some kind of motivation or inspiration to your morning. And as you prepare for your day, you might have started earlier, but as you continue the preparation for your day, I wish nothing but the best and most productive and great day for you. And also to extend thanks for making me part of your morning routine. It means a lot. In case you're just joining today, we're talking about moments before dawn, just before daybreak, and we're paralleling that with our lives and the seasons we go through, and how sometimes we're on the cusp of a breakthrough. We're almost, but not quite there yet, and how we should behave in each season of our lives. Talking about season, if you do see yourself in a season that feels like early morning, where you're awake but you're not fully energized yet, you know when you're up in the morning, you ooh, guys, hold on a moment. I have to turn the music down because you have to hear this. Let me know if you're hearing. I'm sorry. It is raining. It is raining. I wish you guys could see this. It's a webcam. I can't flip it right now. But when I start doing the program on my phone, oh my God. Can you hear the rain? One of my favorite things is rainfall. One of the things that quiet my mind is a thunderstorm. If I'm ever in one of those moods, if I can't sleep, if I'm struggling, if mentally I need a pause, then trust me, the thing that I reach for is a thunderstorm. I have to close my window though. Have to close, and now in here is a little bit darker, but I had to close the window because the rainfall rain was coming in. How far did I get up? Because I'm pretty sure, did I pin my clothes? Oh my God. Anyway, just to remind you guys that you've already survived your darkness. So don't worry about a thing. The light is already on its way. And what's forming inside you right now is preparing you for the next stage of the process. It is raining. When I got up right just now, were you only able to see my top? Because my top wasn't fixed properly. I hope I was not indecent. It is raining, Mom. It's raining. It's a beautiful morning rain. And today we're doing an abridged version of the program. So we'll be here for just 1 hour today. But yesterday we're here for our 2 hour. Well, we were here for just an hour as well. We're working into the YouTube space. We're working into the YouTube space. Other spaces I work on, I'm able to plug some of my songs and my music in. But here on YouTube, I am still searching for the right kind of music that I can play without being copyrighted. And so, of course, that does cut down a little bit on the program. And yes, it's a conversational one. So, as we start to build our community or rebuild our community, because we do have a community here on YouTube, then of course we can talk for longer. Absolutely, and I'll do more lives. Happy that it's sunny there. Well, where I live, mom, it rains very often. And this morning is no surprise. We're having a very rainy morning, but it's so beautiful because I love the rain. I even love long drives on the rain, as long as I'm not the one driving, because then I can't enjoy the rain because of that. But it's exactly 8 a.m. in the morning, and I'm so grateful for everyone who has jumped on and has joined. And I hope that this program has been a blessing to you this morning as we discuss what happens just before daybreak. We're going to set our intention in the next few minutes, do our morning, what is it called? My brain is falling asleep. Maybe it's the rainfall is getting to me, because I love a rainfall. So we're gonna share that shortly with you guys, and then we're gonna wrap up, and then I'll catch you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. as per usual. So yes, we're gonna do our affirmation for the day. But just before we go, I just want to remind you that because the sun isn't visible yet does not mean that it's not rising. So I want to remind you, and I want to remind myself as well, to trust the cycle, to trust the process, to trust that we are progressing, even when it's not, because nothing is wrong with waiting, nothing is wrong with pausing. We're always in a rush, and so we miss out on so many things in life. So we need to embrace and enjoy the pause and the waiting, and let that become let the becoming do its quiet work, because we are indeed becoming in this moment. We are preparing, we are getting ready for what is to come. And it's a minute after 8. Oh mon dieu, it's a minute after 8 right here on the program. And I hope that you guys are great. And I hope you're ready for our affirmation that we will be setting for the day right here on Mornings with Ruth and Lee. Or you can just listen to the sound of my voice as I remind us of all the things that we are and who we are becoming. And as I often say, none of this makes sense if we're not putting in the groundwork, because our minds or brains or energies, all of who we are, will seek out evidence of what we say. So if we say we're confident, are we exhibiting confidence? If we say we show up for ourselves, are we in fact showing up for ourselves? So when we set our affirmation and our intention each day, do remember that it's not just a lip service. This is actual work that must be done, but we're just doing the talk part of it. But after you leave here, you must do the action part of it. So you can repeat after me, softly or loudly. I am grounded, I am centered, and I am whole. I rise with clarity, courage, and calm. I trust myself. I trust my path, and I trust the timing of my life. I honor my body with movement. I nourish myself with intention. I show up for myself today. I am becoming the version of me I once prayed for. I am disciplined, focused, and favored. Everything connected to my purpose is flowing towards me. So today, I walk with confidence. Today, I walk with grace. And most of all, today, I walk with God. And this has taken us to the end of the abridged version of our program this morning. Thank you, Mommy. But as always, guys, I can't leave without leaving you with my thought of the day. You know what? Yeah, I can light my own life. Let me light my own life. And the thought for the day is I pass this way but once. Any good thing, therefore, that I can do to any human being, let me do it now, for I shall not pass this way again. Love you guys entirely. My mom, who is my biggest cheerleader. Thank you for being here, for always showing up, for always supporting. Thank you for the loves. Thank you for the likes. Today's an abridged version of the program. So we're ending within an hour instead of going all the way to 9 this morning. Oh, Camellia, you've just joined when we're getting ready to say goodbye. Thank you so very much for being here. Today we're doing an abridged version of the program as we try to figure out the flow and how things progress here on YouTube. I was mentioning earlier that we'll have to figure out, our fillers and all of that, because I don't have the luxury of playing the songs that really align with the program and the topics that we're discussing that fill up an hour a little bit more. And so that and it's a lot of talking, so I will be going in search of some more music and also to break down different features so we can get a variation in the show. And that's what I'm talking about, is the clarity that comes with doing. It's always okay when we have the thoughts in our minds and we say we're going to do something, but the clarity is going to come once we put things into action. So if you're at that space today as well, where you need to do this thing and in your mind it's already perfection, that's great, but go ahead and act on that, because the action of it, the movement of it is going to start to bring you some clarity that you didn't even realize that you needed. It's going to bring about some wholesomeness that you never even anticipated. Camellia, I'm dying. You might have to start singing the songs yourself. Listen, or bust some artists like my niece. She's a very great singer, so have her cover some of these songs for the topics, and then shamelessly plug her as well. We gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta do what we gotta do. But I do love this space. I'm glad that I'm here. I need to do a little bit more marketing. And you know what? I'm not even mad at the quality of my video. I'm just happy to be in this space. I'm just happy to be here and just to be doing what I know in my heart I want to do. And to just know that I am showing up for myself today. I have already gone through our affirmation, have set our intention for the day. And I always remind everyone that, listen, we're not here to do lip service. It's always good and great to say, oh, I show up for myself today. But did you? Did you show up for yourself today? You say you honor your body with movement, but did you honor your body with movement today? Have you done that? You say today you walk in confidence. Are you confident? Because the only way we gain confidence is by doing. So you do something a number of times until you can do it with your eyes shut. You get your confidence from. Like my bestie Camellia, I talk about her a lot, and she is like the best writer me know. And I read different genre of books. I read everything. I listen to everything, but just the way her mind works and how it flows and the way she can create stories and all of that, I celebrate that. I love that, and I compliment her on that. And I'm pretty sure that in the beginning she never saw herself as no great writer or an excellent this or that in the line of work that she even does. She kind of feels that, hey, I can do it. So I think that many people can do it, several people can do it, but that's not really the truth. But you know what? She has been doing it for so long, and not just doing it and not improving. She's been doing it for so long, and she has been improving over the years, because we improve and clarity comes through doing. And so she has gotten to a point where she can now realize that, oh my God, I did that. I am that girl. And I think we grew up in a society that frowns on people being proud of themselves, and they want us to feign humility. But long ago, me decided to dash with that. I stopped feigning humility. There's a thin line between arrogance and being only proud of yourself. And the more I think about it, is there though? Because sometimes I feel like we think people are arrogant because we're not where they are yet. We're not that certain of ourselves. So how dare they be certain of themselves? I've had areas where I never trusted myself. I never trusted in my ability as much. And I'd have heard persons saying things, and there was this tinge of something that I felt. I don't know if it's jealousy. I don't think it is. But you know what? All emotions are welcomed here. We put them, we take them out, we look at them, we assess them, and then we figure out how to move forward. So it's fine. It's just if you're lingering there and you're allowing jealousy to morph into something else and resentment and all of that, go take care of yourself. See a therapist, please. That's not what we're doing over here. But it's good to acknowledge that you're feeling that feeling. Now ask yourself, why am I feeling that feeling? It's because you are not sure of who you are. You don't trust in your ability. You're not doing it enough. You're not showing up for yourself as much as you say you would show up for yourself. And so you cannot have that confidence in yourself. So it comes through doing. So Cam writes excellently. And normally, where's her book? I can't find her book, but it's always on my desk. So I'm going to shamelessly plug. I'm here chatting, even though I said I'm ending the program. Look at me still here. Um, get yourself a copy. Can you see it? Get yourself a copy. This is a promise a day, 31 Bible promises to fuel your faith. And I'm going to say it doesn't even matter where you are on your spiritual journey. Talking from example again. I'm always the example. Get used to it. It doesn't even matter where you are on your spiritual journey. This book is going to help you. I'm going to go as far as to say, even if you don't believe in the Bible, or you're not a Christian, but you know that there's motivation, there's inspiration in books, including the Bible, that can help you, get yourself a copy. Because there are some days you just need a reminder. You just need a reminder that, listen, all things are working for your good. You need a reminder. What did I just open to? John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that pain to God. Listen, oh, my connection is a little unstable. Maybe it's as a result of the rain, and it's a sign to run. You're most welcome, Camellia. And you know what? Since I take this opportunity, I always have to shamelessly plug friends and family members. My mommy is here. And you know what? My mommy does an excellent job moderating and emceeing events. And it's something that she would have developed naturally. No training or anything, but it's something that she's passionate about. She does it, and she does it well, and she's not scared to ask for help. She's not scared to say, what do you think about this? Do you think we need to use different thoughts? Do you need to, and so I love that. Documenting what, Camellia, because I've said so much, I've lost track of that bit. But yeah, to shamelessly plug and to say my mom does moderating, and emceeing. I mean, I do that too, so you can reach out to either of us. We kind of sound alike, so if you need, if it's two events, you can get one of us for. Then you can get both of us for each of these events. And I see more people are joining when I was, kind of getting ready to go. So maybe this is a sign, a telltale that I need to. Oh yes, my mom does a wonderful job of documenting stuff. My mom does a better job than I do. Like, she needs to become the social media person for our community, and I don't know, because we're seeing it from her eyes, and she's not trying to overdo anything. She's not trying to make it look pretty like how other people. She's just literally showing you what's happening. It is so refreshing. Mommy, we need to create a YouTube page for you, so that you can share your content there and not just on your WhatsApp. But she does a mighty good job. So good job on that, mommy. And also, I want to congratulate my mom. My mom has landed a wonderful job. I said, I can't wait for she get paid to send me some money. So sorry. Yes. So my mom is great with people. She is a people person, and she recently landed a job where she's teaching. I'm not sure if it's kids or a child with special needs. And I just want to say good job to you, mommy. I am so, and she's at school. I'm so proud of you. Keep going. And it's also a reminder that we can become and we can do anything we want. There is no age limit. So many times we're fooled into thinking that we've capped off at a certain age and we can no longer achieve certain things. We can no longer dream new dreams and have them come to fruition. But my mom is out here saying nonsense. I could have been this person for 40 and 50 odd years, but I can change today, because all change needs is a decision. That's another topic we're going to discuss on here. Change just simply needs a decision that this is what I'm going to do. And she's doing it now. And I am entirely proud of her. I know she's doing a wonderful, wonderful job with the child or children. And I pray that God will bless her with more opportunities. And I pray she get paid on time so she can hurry up and send me some money. Thanks in advance, Mom. We are grateful over here. If your mother not give you money, like what's going on in your life? Like, excuse me, what are you doing? Anyway, I think I'm straying a lot, and as a result, I'm going to fully and finally and truly wrap the program for today. But I'm so grateful for everyone who has joined. Thank you so very much for the comments. Do remember to share with your friends and family members. And I got a little idea, since my WhatsApp is not working perfectly, where I can share it with people to join me on WhatsApp. My email works, my email works. So when I do create, schedule my live a little bit later in the afternoon, I am going to share it via email. We're going to do email marketing because we have so many things, and that's why clarity comes through doing. There's so many things that we have access to. There's so many blessings swirling around us, but we're so busy looking in one place and looking at things working out one way that we miss everything else. And this aligns with the topic that we're doing this morning. The topic is just before daybreak. We're in or dawn right now, and sunlight is not just going to rush in. It takes its time. It quietly arrives. Night is slowly losing its grasp of the day, or on the day, and the sunrise is getting ready to pick up. But there is this hush, there's this lull, there's this serenity, there's this moment of calm and peace when we are expectant of Camellia. I must buy you a battery pack. If I do nothing else, and I mean several, I need to get you one of the cases where you put your phone in, and it charges it, because her battery is dying. But anyway, I'm grateful that even with a dying battery, you decided to jump on and share the last bit of juice on that battery with me. Thank you so very much. You are a great friend, and I appreciate you. I don't remember what I was saying earlier about daybreak and dawn, but during this moment when you have this pause, just trust that the is enough, and to take this moment to pause, because pausing is essential, and awake your sunrise because it is on its way. It's 18 minutes after 8. This is where we truly wrap. Again, I end with my favorite quote: I pass this way but once. Any good thing therefore that I can do to any human being, let me do it now, for I shall not pass this way again. Until tomorrow morning, have for yourselves a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day, a productive one where you're kind to yourself, you're gentle with yourself, you will speak the truth to yourself in love. You will honor all the commitments that you have made. You will show up for yourself today. You will live out this day with grace and much grace for yourself, not just for others. And I look forward to being with you tomorrow morning and every single weekday right here on YouTube from 7 in the morning to 9 in the morning. Today we're ending a little early because clarity comes through doing, and so we're doing and we're becoming clearer. And then tomorrow I'll be here for my full 2 hours, and hopefully you will be able to join, and I hope that you will share with your friends and family members as well. And if you're unable to be in the chat and to be interactive, I mean, I do love that because I want to hear from you and it's a conversation and all of that. Come on, guys. But if you're busy in the morning getting ready, prepping the kids and yourself to leave and to start your day, you can just start me up, put me over the side, and I'll be your girl. I'll be here motivating and encouraging you while you get ready for your day. However it works for you, it works for me. So thank you so very much and have a great one. Bye bye. My computer is glitching. It doesn't want me to end the live, so I can't even click on end.